Hello everyone. Welcome to IIFL Markets YouTube channel. I am Shweta Papriwal, and today in our Leaders Speak series, we have Mr. Rajesh Bhatia, Group CFO, Uflex Limited. Welcome, sir. It's a pleasure to host you today.
Thank you, Shweta. It's a pleasure to be with you again.
Thank you. So, sir, let me begin with asking you about your quarterly results, which have been recently released. And I believe the company has posted the best ever performance in Q4 and FY 2021. So, kindly brief us about the performance and also which were the segments that have been the top contributors to the financial performance.
So, I think a couple of things here. I'll go back to the start of the pandemic, which coincides with financial year 21. Yes, to begin with, there was a spurt in the packaging demand, given that people wanted to hold more and more stuff, and because primarily we do food packaging, more than 95% of our packaging goes into food packaging. So obviously, there was a lot of demand as the shelf spaces in the hypermarkets and other grocery stores became empty, and that supply had to be replenished. So the first quarter we saw a huge uptick, and which sort of had to die down in the subsequent quarters as the things opened up and the demand normalized. But overall basis for the year, we have seen about 21% volume growth, which is very healthy. And Q4, we've seen about 44% volume growth against the backdrop of our capacities, which got commissioned in Poland as well as in Egypt, and also recommissioning our BOPET film line in Russia, which was shifted from Dubai. So all of that contributed to a higher number for the year as well and for the quarter. And I think we are good to look at about between the next couple of years, 2 to 3 years, the kind of capacity we are adding in. And if we look at as to what is the potential based on this, I think the current numbers in the next 2 to 3 years period, we can do about 60% higher based on the capacities that we have announced to sort of set up on the packaging film side alone. Then comes our aseptic packaging business, which has done exceedingly well. Could have done better, but this was a kind of a business which was affected due to the pandemic as the to-go demand. This is largely when it goes to juices and dairy category. This is more on the go consumption, which was curtailed as the lockdown and the movement restrictions were into play. Q1 of this year, again, we've done the best probably in this business, and hopefully once the pandemic is over and the new capacity coming on stream, what we have announced yesterday, doubling of our plant capacity will come into handy in the next financial year for us. We'd already announced expansion of our Dharwad in packaging films at Dharwad in South India, which will also help our additional volumes in India. As in India, we've not grown into this market for the last so many years, since 2003 or 2005. But now we good to go on that front itself. So the top contributors, as you said, the packaging films in BOPET, I think we are close to, or I think we'll get the numbers confirmed this quarter. Probably we be the largest in the world outside of China, and definitely with the new capacities coming on stream, that number will being the leading the global as the globally the top producer of the BOPET films gives you that kind of a scale, that kind of an efficiencies, and that kind of a market access, which helps you to grow on from there. So I think EBITDA and profitability increase are natural corollary of increase in the volumes, which we've seen in this quarter. But this year was also helped by falling raw material prices. In the Q1 and Q2, the raw material prices were subdued, given that the demand for the petro products was down. But Q4, we've seen about 30% increase in the raw material prices for the BOPET films, about 17% increase in the raw material prices for the BOPP films. And so the price, the raw material price, we've seen crude hitting all-time high recently. So the raw material price increase will come into play. I think we'll work hard to strive our margins at about 20% range and look at the additional volumes to grow our top line as well as the bottom line.
Right, sir. So with the pandemic, the launching of PPE kits and masks have been, very much rampant. So how has this impacted the business? Where does it stand now for Uflex?
PPE kits, I think we looked at that and we announced that, but the kind of technology we had and the kind of costs we had associated with that technology, I think we didn't do very much.
Okay.
But on the mask side, yes, we've done well, and we are now, let's also see that all these factors are, all these consumption pattern for these products are highly linked to, how the pandemic is. So we've seen resurgence for the mask demand now in post-April and all that, and we're doing wonderfully well over there. We also make in the group raw material for people who make masks. So that's also operating at almost a full capacity. The masks are doing reasonably well, but again, they're a very small part of the business, and we can't really look them as a growth drivers or something which is very substantial. Yes, there is an opportunity here because of the pandemic. And, I tell everybody that, if either you wear N95 mask or you don't wear anything, because others are simply not good enough. And Uflex is probably the only setup where, you have the masks which have, the cotton cloth on both sides. So that gives you comfort. So probably, one of the best, available in the market. You can go and buy that on Amazon itself. And, I tell all my friends, my relatives, everybody that, if you're using a mask, use an N95 mask. Yes, Uflex advantage is that, there is a cotton cloth on both sides. So that gives you an added comfort. But, that's the only way to go about masking yourself.
Right. So as you mentioned about, the crude prices being at all-time high. So how do you think that changing crude prices will impact the company's business?
See, our businesses are more or less pass-through. It only depends on which product is a pass-through immediately and which product is a pass-through with a lag. The packaging business is a pass-through with a lag with certain clients, is a pass-through immediately with the spot clients. But the packaging films business is a pass-through almost immediately. So we're not too bothered by the fluctuation in the raw material prices linked to sort of the crude prices. But yes, it does impact our working capital requirements for the business as your raw material as well as the finished goods become expensive. Otherwise, other than that, as I said, that we've seen the largest catastrophe in our living lives, and there cannot be anything about that. And still, we look at a 21% kind of a volume growth, 44% in this quarter. So, our business is pretty much insulated because basically we pack food, and Correct. The food is the primemost requirement for the mankind. So that's what, so to that extent, I would certainly say that, there's no impact of anything, whether a crude price increase or even the catastrophe like this, the pandemic like this couldn't affect the demand.
Right. So, given the impact of packaging on the environment, what do your partners expect out of your packaging? Has there been an interest in India around green packaging?
There is interest, but as we speak today, this has taken a bit of a backseat. I think this will come into foreplay, and we are ready for that things because we set up plant at our Noida facility where we buy old PET bottles, consumed PET bottles already, which have been used for any sort of beverage and all that, and then we clean them, we reprocess them, and we make again plastic flakes from this, from which we make the packaging films. We also collect, a lot of multi-layered plastic waste, like your chips packets or your rice packaging or your wheat packaging. And we again, process them at our facility in Noida. And then this is what then we use for making, the various articles of plastic, mixing that with the virgin material to make any articles of plastic, including pipes, chairs, drums, tanks, anything and anything where the plastic is used, you can easily mix substantial quantities of this. So we are getting into that circular economy. Similar things after the success of this, we are replicating or we'll finally be replicating at all our overseas facilities, which are, we currently doing this in Poland and Mexico, and soon, it will be expanded to other jurisdictions as well. But, the biggest thing what we have in our fold is a biodegradable packaging, which will, I think, change the view around the packaging as to, you and me will no longer feel bad even if we throw a chips packet, by the side of the road or by the side of the beach, because we're going to ensure that, the plastic, we give an end of life to the plastic. And once you do that, give an end of life to the plastic, I think this is going to be a huge game changer in the years to come.
Sure, sure. And sir, like coming back to the pandemic, so I'm sure, all the businesses had faced the negative impact of pandemic. So how are you prepared in terms of if a third wave comes, in terms of business and employees?
So second wave did impact our employees. We also had a lot of cases in our plant, in corporate office, where, the people got to this. From our side, what we've done is that, there is already facilities available for employees. We've created for them. We provide them medicine kits. We send to them as well as to their families. We've also imported a substantial quantity of, the concentrators as well as the BiPAP facilities. We also made arrangements for, at the home critical care, where we can set up a critical care at employees' home only. We have tie-ups with the hospitals where we've been able to, during the very tough times of 3 weeks in NCR, whosoever has approached us, we've ensured that, we at least give them hospital facilities through our tie-ups, our links and all that. And that's how, we've done. So obviously the third wave, if it is, we'll augment these resources more. We'll set up, we'll be hiring people to put the critical care facilities at home. The doctors we've tied up with who are going to be there for calls, for video calls and all that. So that's what we doing. I think there are no efforts lacking. Our chairman is personally spearheading all these efforts to ensure that, all our stakeholders, whosoever gets affected with this, whether it is employee or supplier or any close friend or business competitor, anything, he can get the best of facilities. So he will not have to bother about, he will have any gaps in terms of, rest is, in the God hands. There are people who still not survived despite sort of providing the best
Right.
of the facilities, and I'm a personal sufferer there as well. My wife's come to COVID, and but we did our best in terms of whatever care we could do for our employees.
So, sir, before I end, what are your future expansion plans for company? Any growth strategies that you will be implementing going ahead?
So, as I said that, we've already announced, our expansion at Dharwad, our expansion at aseptic packaging, our recycling as well as the biodegradable businesses. In terms of our existing capacities for the packaging films, till end of FY20, we had a capacity to do about 336,000 tons of the packaging films, which by the end of FY23 will be about 600,000 tons. We've already implemented, a few of them already, and few of them are coming on stream in the next couple of weeks. So, and with Dharwad coming into play by end of FY23, will be about 600,000 tons, which is about 60% more than what we produced in FY21. So that's the guidance that we are looking at. All our capacities till FY20 were fully operational and were utilized at almost nearing the 100% capacity levels. So I think next 3 years we'll look to, at least based on the growth that plans we already have announced. Next couple of years, I'll assume that there'll be more considerations by the management, by the board, and then they'll be announced to the market. But the way the thing stands today, already announced numbers. So we're looking at doubling the capacity of our aseptic packaging business and about a 60% growth on our flexible packaging films business. That's what is already on the cards.
Right. So thank you, Mr. Bhatia, for taking the time out and briefing us about the company's financial performance and growth plans. We wish you all the best.
Thank you. Thank you.